Korean Cookbang channel. Hi, my name is Sophia. We are continuing with the world-class famous Kimchi Cookbang series today. Today, I'll be making Kimchi Sujebi. So Sujebi means hand-toned dal soup, and we are adding kimchi to it. So this Kimchi Sujebi is all Koreans' comfort food. It's one of my favorite comfort food. But also this food provides a sentimental value to my parents' generation or my grandparents' generation. Because back then, South Korea wasn't that well off, so everyone used to be quite hungry. And this dish is a great dish that fills everyone's tummy nice and full, but also very affordable meal. Whenever I cook this kimchi sujebi for my parents, they say it just literally takes them back to their childhood memory. So let's get it started. Yay! Okay guys, so we are making the kimchi sujebi. So these are my ingredients. So I've got this plain flour, all-purpose flour. Do not use the high grade, just use the normal. I've got 1 egg, 1 small onion, 1 spring onion, and a medium-sized peeled pre-washed potato. And these are my 2 Korean chili pepper, 청양고추. But if you don't like spicy flavor, do not use them. And I've got some soy sauce for soup, fish sauce, some minced garlic, and Korean chili pepper paste, and salt and vegetable oils. Also, you must use this anchovy and kelp stock. So I've videoed this before, so please check my description box below and have a look at that video if you're unsure what this is. But if you're vegetarian, you can also substitute this stock with just a normal vegetarian stock. And finally, I'm using this well-aged kimchi. I'm going to use about just slightly less than quarter of the whole cabbage kimchi. So I've pre-measured this, and this is about 300 grams. First of all, we're gonna make this handmade dough. So I'm gonna wash my hands. Because I'll be hand making the dough and I'm gonna knead it with my hands, so I have to make sure my hands are nice and clean. So the way to do it is that you're gonna sing happy birthday to you. So I'm gonna wash my hands nice and thorough.
Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Sophie, happy birthday to you.
So I'll be making a classic handmade dough that's going to be used in sujebi. A portion for 2 people. So I'll be using 1.5 cup of the plain flour. So here's my 1 cup, and I'm using another half cup. And you want to season this dough as well. So I'm using half teaspoon of the salt, and also you want to add this vegetable oils. So this is 1 tablespoon, and you put it in here. I'll be using 1/3 cup of the cold water and 1 egg. So the crucial thing is that you add 1 egg and the oil, and that makes the batter extra soft and chewy. So I'm gonna crack 1 egg in here, and I'm just gonna mix it up. Also, you wanna add this cold water, and you just mix around initially. You see how they start to cling together? And when you see there's not much powder left, that's when you start using your hand. So you want to knead this dough for a good 6 to 7 minutes, and that's where the gluten binds together and makes a nice soft yet chewy dough. And it's mixing up really nicely. So you just knead the dough till the outside becomes nice and shiny. So it's still flaky, right? So you just knead it further. If the dough is sticking to your hands too much, like it sticks to your hands every time you knead, that means you've added too much water. So you simply have to, add maybe 1 tablespoon of the flour and see how that goes. Or if you feel the dough is just too tough to knead, you just have to add just a little bit of water and keep kneading. So before it was quite flaky and you see a lot of white flour, but now it's all doughy, it's all soft, but it doesn't stick to my hands either. And see how it's quite shiny around? So this is all done, but we have to leave this at a room temperature for at least 1 hour. I've got this plastic, nice clean plastic bag. So you just put the dough in. get all the air out. We're gonna leave this for 1 hour. Okay, so we've set the door aside, so we're gonna start making the kimchi soup. So I'm using the 6 cups of the anchovy and kelp based fundamental stock. I'm going to let it boil. Okay guys, so my anchovy and kelp broth is boiling. So I'm adding 300 grams of well-aged cabbage kimchi, 1 cup of kimchi, and I'm also adding 1 tablespoon of the minced garlic, and finally a half cup of the kimchi juice. And I'm going to let it boil, let it simmer at medium heat for 15 minutes. While we wait for the kimchi soup to boil and cook for 15 minutes, I'm going to prep my veggies. So I'm going to thinly slice up the onion, very small onion. If you just got a big one, just use half. And 1 medium potato, slice it in half, and then you just cut it in a big chunk like this. And I'm using 2 청양고추, which is a very spicy chili. This is just an optional. And 1 spring onion. I'm gonna thinly slice up the leaf part to garnish at the final, and I'm gonna cut the stem part quite a big chunk. Okay guys, so the kimchi soup's been boiling for 15 minutes, so the kimchi should be cooked all nice and soft. So now I'm going to season the soup. So I'm adding 1 tablespoon of the Korean soy sauce, that's for soup, and also 1 tablespoon of the Korean chili pepper paste, and then you taste it. And if you want to season this soup a bit more savory, that's when you use this fish sauce to your liking. So I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of the fish sauce, and then you taste again. It's perfect. Once you season the soup nicely, you put all this veggie. And once you put the onion and the potato, they cook relatively fast. So that's when we put this sujebi dough, and they are just so soft. It's like a play dough. So thin, see how thin they stretch out without tearing apart. So you want to put this dough nice and thin and just put it in. You also want to reduce the heat to low, and I'm going to hand turn this dough and put it in the soup. The center is pretty thin, but the outside edge is relatively thicker than the middle. So it just makes the texture, like some part really nice and silky, but the other outer parts nice and chewy. You're gonna give it a nice stir in between so they don't stick together. So my last piece is done. You give it a nice stir. We're gonna bring this heat to medium high, and then I'm going to put the stem part of the spring onion in the chili, close the lid, and cook it for 5 minutes. So I've left this to cook for 5 minutes. So it's all done. It's just such a comforting traditional food. Okay guys, so we are all done. So I'm going to add the rest of the spring onions just to garnish. This is the hand-torn dough kimchi soup. We call it Kimchi Sujebi. So I'm going to dig in guys. My mouth is watering right now.
How you like that?
Like some part is just so soft.
How you like that?
Oh, it's amazing.
Tell me how you like that, like that.
Oh, it's so good. And it's all different shape, different texture. It's just so fun to eat, and it's very filling too. And you have this nice fluffy potato as well.
How you like that?
I didn't drink guys last night, but it's like 해장. like the hangover as well. You guys really need to try this Kimchi Sujebi. It's just so warming, your body's just melting away. It's got nice savory sour kimchi taste to it. The kimchi has millions of probiotics, so it's very good for you. So I'm gonna sit down and dig it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And I will be continuing with the world famous Kimchi Cookbang series. See you guys. Bye.
Look at you now, look at me.
맛있어, 맛있어, 맛있어. 진짜 너무 잘해. 이거 은정이 거야.